Hey, Nate, you're running a little late for the video. What's going on?
Bad morning.
What happened?
Bad morning. I jammed my thumb, man. What else? Woke up, I jammed my thumb. Everything I do now stinks. Everything. I drove here to work with you, grabbed the steering wheel, and it hurts.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It just makes me grumpy, irritable. I have no joy. Everything I do, it hurts.
Because of your thumb.
No joy, Phil. No joy.
You know, there's a foundational truth that I focus on whenever I'm in a trial or having a real difficult time, which it sounds like you obviously are.
Yeah, what is it, Phil?
That is comfort by comparison. It could always be worse. Yeah. It could always be worse.
Like what? Like what?
Well, whenever I'm feeling down, I think of a worse situation to help me feel better.
Yeah, give me a situation. I don't know one that could be worse.
At least you're not Matt Smith.
Matt Smith. What happened to Matt?
Hey, Matt. What do you want?
Do you think you could come down and help me move the TV from the modular to the new youth room?
Yeah, man, sorry, I'm not able to. Super swamped up here. We had a bunch of people come up, got super busy, some stuff with masks and whatever, but yeah, I just can't come down and help you right now.
Dude, I'd really like your help, man. This thing's like old and probably weighs like 250 pounds.
No, you can totally get it. You can totally get it. They're never as heavy as they look. I'm pretty sure I put it up there myself anyway, and yeah, don't even bother calling Nate. No one knows where he is. He's on island time somewhere.
Are you sure, man? I don't know.
Oh, man, you totally have it. I would help you in a heartbeat, but like I said, I'm just too slammed. You can totally get it yourself. I guarantee it. Just put your phone down and move the TV.
All right, dude. I'll give it a shot.
Freak TV moving accident. I don't really know a lot about it.
Well, a little bit better.
Or just think of it, at least you're not Paul Nelson. Hey, Paul.
Phil, are you sure this is how I get the USB in the plug?
Yeah, absolutely. 100% sure. It's called expanding the outlet.
Okay. Phil, this doesn't look right at all.
Trust me, Nate did this all the time on the island. It's called data court Sally.
Are you sure?
Paul, this is super safe. There's no danger in this. This isn't replacement theology here. Just take care of it.
Okay. Phil.
What happened to Paul?
I don't know. SDG&E was out here with an ambulance. I'm sure he'll be okay. I don't know what happened.
You know, I feel so much better since. What did you call it?
Comfort by comparison.
Comparison.
Mm-hmm.
You think
There's always worse.
I think you're onto something, Phil. So naturally, it's much easier for us to look for comfort through comparisons. Yeah. That is, we look at our lives and the situations, the hardships that we find ourselves in, and we find comfort because we get another life or we find someone else and we say, hey, at least I'm better off than them. So we comfort ourselves through comparing ourselves to others. What we would say, and I think I can speak for both of us, Phil, is that we would argue that that's not a sufficient source of comfort in your lives. Our lives always change. Others' lives always change. And so this is something that we cannot stand firm on. This is something that's shaky and is always moving. And so we're going to find ourselves in an always moving, changing situation. And so that's not a sufficient source of comfort in our lives. But what we would encourage you to do is to find your comfort in something that is never changing, unlike our lives, which are ever changing. To find your source of comfort in something that is never changing and can be solid truth. And we find that in the never changing character of God and the truths that are in His Word.
One of these truths we find in Scripture is in Romans chapter 8. And this is one of the most familiar verses to many of us in times of trial and distress to bring us comfort, as Romans 8:28, that for those who love God, He works all things for their good according to His purposes. Now, when we look at the whole chapter of Romans 8, we see that it's describing the life of the Spirit, that for those who walk in the Spirit, they are under spiritual transformation, that God is working to transform them from the inside out. And so that's really what Romans 8:28 is talking about, that what God is working for towards our good is spiritual transformation. It doesn't have anything to do with our external situations, our circumstances. It doesn't have to do with making our lives easier or better compared to other people's circumstances. What it is talking about is that God uses every situation, particularly difficult situations and trials and tribulations. He uses those for our good, and the good is a spiritual good. It's not necessarily a physical good. It's not necessarily going to make our lives easier, but He is looking to transform us into the nature of Christ more and more. And He is going to use all the situations in life that we go through to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a powerful truth. So we would encourage you this week to spend some time in Romans 8 and just letting your mind be saturated with the truths that Paul unpacks there for you in Romans 8. We were encouraged and we were definitely challenged by one of the young ladies in C2C who actually was dealing with some of these same situations in her life. And instead of comparing to others outside of her to find her comfort, she went right to Romans 8 and she memorized Romans 8, the whole thing, for herself.
And so in doing that, in committing those truths to her memory, she moved from a place where she could seek comfort through comparing her situation to others. She moved from that to the never-changing character of God as revealed through His Holy Scriptures. And so in this time where situations are changing daily by the hour and our situations can be very challenging, we would encourage you to do the same. We love you, we miss you, and keep living in love.